Greetings and a warm welcome to this week's edition of 401k Real Talk. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor at wealthmanagement.com's RPA Omnichannel and CEO at Trow, TPSU, and 401k TV. I review all of this week's stories and select the most important and interesting ones, providing open, honest, and candid discussion you will not get anywhere else. So let's get real. First story, the 147,000 June job growth masks weaknesses in the private sector, which, according to ADP, shed 33,000 positions, the first decline since March 2023. Half of the growth in June came from government workers, with healthcare accounting for 39,000 of the 74,000 new private sector jobs. What experts are calling Trump's anti-growth measures, including tariffs, deportation, and cuts in federal spending and workers, has caused many employers to halt hiring, with the Fed unlikely to cut interest rates as a result. 130,000 people dropped out of the job market, with participation rates falling. Will employers de-emphasize retirement benefits due to limited recruitment and fewer resignations? One thing for sure is that HR, benefits, and finance staff that manage 401k plans will be asked to do more with less, which could lead to longer decision-making on changes to their plan. Next story, the hits keep on coming for Pentegra, which recently announced a $48.5 million settlement after suffering a $39 million jury verdict. Allegations included excessive record-keeping and administrative expenses, mismanagement of the investments, along with numerous fiduciary breaches. As part of the settlement, Pentegra will be required to conduct a record-keeping and administration RFP. The case was brought by Schlichter Bogart, and Pentegra was represented by the Groom Law Group. Likely, Pentegra wants to move on as it offers its 316 outsourced fiduciary services to other plans, which may be difficult with a pending lawsuit. Next story, just as the DC world continues its exodus to low-cost index funds, the industry is abuzz with the prospect of including private equity, touting better returns as DC plans try to mimic pensions. But PE is a different animal than mutual funds and professionally managed investments like target dates and managed accounts, and must therefore be evaluated differently. Industry pundit Chris Carosa, citing numerous experts, lays out a due diligence framework which includes management expertise and track record across various market cycles, fund structure, fee transparency, participation and plan suitability, and red flags. PE is not likely to be offered as a standalone investment, with recommendations of a maximum of 15% allocation, something the SEC recommends for mutual funds and ETFs. Just like target date funds, participant demographics and plan design should be considered while comparing investments without PE. The buzz about PE in private markets is palpable, with high-profile firms like State Street Investment Management and Apollo offering it in a target date fund with 10% allocation, but the jury is still out on whether DC plan sponsors will embrace it. Next story, as many firms are adopting Pantera's solution with assets growing, providers and regulators alike are taking notice. Perhaps in reaction, the firm has hired Lisa Gomez, former EBSA director, as a strategic consultant. Pontera acts as a cyber shield, allowing advisors to manage clients' DC accounts without access to their login information. While some providers are resistant, maybe because they want to manage that money themselves, there are legitimate concerns as well as real interest by advisory firms, which may lead to more assets retained in DC plans. Finally, as new 401k and 403b plan formation explodes, the natural question is, who will serve this market? Payrolls and fintechs have stepped up, but service can be lacking, while traditional providers and advisors struggle to make money in this market segment. Banks, which seem to be a logical solution for smaller startup plans, have mostly retreated from the defined contribution record-keeping business, with the exception of JP Morgan Chase. But as we often see, logic does not always turn into reality. Read my recent wealthmanagement.com column on whether banks will re-enter the DC market and how they could help. So those were the most important stories from the past week. I listed a few others I thought were worth reading, covering the DOL asks OMB to review PEPs, comparing state plans versus 401k plans. Broadridge launches new managed account evaluator, and Cap Group opens up small market products to outside funds. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you'd like to comment. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you in 2 weeks on 401k Real Talk as they take time to participate in an 8-day silent meditation retreat, hopefully returning clearer, more insightful, and even more real.